And then this guy commented like, wannabe, you are ugly AF. Yeah. So I clicked his profile, then I went to comment. Then I put a smiley face.
Hi everyone, welcome to the 4th episode of E-Junkies. I'm Brian, your entertainment writer at AsiaOne. I'm back again with my boss, Kapeng. This series will be released as a video on our social media platforms, so remember to catch that. And it will also be made available as a podcast on Spotify, so just tune in and get the latest episodes. Okay, so for episode 4, I think we just want to tell you guys that we've seen your comments on social media, we've heard them, we know that you don't care. We know that you're asking why should we care, but I think the focus for today is to talk about how that makes us feel, I think, as people and as writers. And I think Kaping has had a personal experience that she likes to share a little bit first.
Yeah, so sometimes I do go to Facebook and I look at the comments for our articles. And I know that not everyone is into entertainment articles. Or even if you are into entertainment articles, you could be into a certain type. Maybe you prefer Hong Kong news, or perhaps you like Korean news. You don't care so much about another region. But the thing that always gets me is that you spend the time to leave a comment on the article and says, who cares? So I was thinking, why do you do that? The example that I can think of is if I go to the hawker center or the food court and I do not like a particular food. For example, I don't like Yong Tau Fu. I do not walk past the Yong Tau Fu store and start scolding the auntie and uncle there, I simply just walk past because that's not what I like to eat, but other people like to eat it. So similarly for articles, you don't like entertainment news, there will be people who like entertainment news. Of course, you think that this is freedom of speech, but we all know that freedom of speech comes with responsibility.
I guess it's commendable. Thank you for putting in so much effort to let us know that you don't care. No, but legit, right? I mean, really good effort. But I do think that on a more serious note, there's always going to be a demand for gossip, whether or not it's in entertainment or just news in general, right? Like anything salacious, anything that's personal, we kind of want to know. It's just bakwa. We are kepo, basically, right? So I think that's where the inherent demand comes from. We do a lot of celebrity gossip news, but we do have our feature pieces and more newsy side of entertainment that we try to do lah. So I guess to these people, if the entertainment gossip is not for you, legitimately you can read some of the features that we've written lah. And I think we're interested to know how these comments can actually affect somebody who is always in the spotlight and puts himself out there. So we have a very special guest for us today, and he's going to be joining us probably about now, I guess. So let us welcome Tosh. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so being a celebrity, we know that you've seen your fair share of negative comments. So I think the first question we really want to ask you is, whenever you read something negative about you online or people send message to you, how does that make you feel?
It really depends on how I'm feeling that day. There are days where I read negative comments, right, and I just laugh it off and it doesn't really affect me much. But there are days where if I'm like in a really low mood and then I read something, right, and I don't know why it really gets to me, but my skin has definitely grown thicker over the years.
So what is like your process usually for handling all these comments, and then how do you usually respond to them?
Okay, I don't usually respond to hate comments, but the times where I do, right, it's either I'm very sure that I can like burn this guy. If he really says something that is really like funny or ridiculous, then I know I have a humorous way to reply him, then I'll do it. But I won't do it because I want to genuinely hurt that person, because I find that there's no point indulging a lot of time into online back and forths because there's no ending to it.
I think recently there was somebody tweeted you, right, and in response to like the Boys to Men being on the streaming platform, and then he said something like, can I unsub or something like that, right? And then you kind of responded. Yeah, could you share a little bit more about like what were you thinking at that point of time? How did you feel? Because I know Our Boys to Men was a very important project for you as well.
Okay, so basically I tweeted about Our Boys to Men is coming on Netflix, and 99% of the comments were very good. But just that 1%, right, you will notice it because it stands out, because it's negative. And then when I click their profile, right, both of them were following me. So I actually replied them. I say, if you don't like my movie or something that I'm a part of, then why do you follow me to leave me like a negative comment? Then after that, when I click their profile, both of them unfollow me.
So they didn't reply you at all?
They didn't reply me, then they private their account.
Do you think these people they just want attention from a celebrity? That's why they deliberately do something that is against the norm. Because they will assume that most people will be happy for you. Hey, congratulations, your show is on Netflix. So they deliberately say something opposite to get your attention. Or do you think that maybe this is their way of venting their frustration and unhappiness?
I think there are three kinds. The first kind, right, is they enjoy like leaving bad comments. You call them trolls. They might not even really feel that way, right? But they will just leave that comment just to like invoke a reaction from you. And if you give them a reaction, like they feel like, I did it. Then the second kind is, right, they genuinely dislike you and they genuinely want to hurt you with their comments. And they have never met you in real life. Their perception of you is just purely from what they see on the media and everything. And then the third kind, right, is they're actually fans, but they have tried sending you messages a lot of times. And then maybe you didn't see it or you didn't reply them. And then when you finally reply them is when they left you a bad comment. And then after that, they will say like, actually, I'm a fan, but I just tried that because I see you replying to bad comments. So I felt that was the only way to get your... Yeah, so there are three different kinds. And somehow you can tell by the kind of comments they leave.
Actually, out of curiosity, have there been any negative comments that they were leaving you, but it's more of like objective criticism? Like they think, okay, you could have done this better.
There are definitely people who leave objective criticisms. Like, I felt that your lyrics could be better. I felt that this could be better. And you can tell by the tone of the message. They don't use like vulgarities. They don't like call you names or whatever. So when I see these kind of comments, I actually will appreciate it and I will thank them and I'll go have a conversation back and forth. But in terms of those that straight out like, hey, you are, there's really no point engaging them. I heard a saying before, they say never engage with fools because from a distance, nobody can tell who is who. So if people see like, oh, this guy crawling online, then after a while, the point gets lost, no matter who started it.
Actually, speaking of Boys to Men, right, I'm very curious to know what was the reaction online just after Boys to Men came out and became a hit?
Okay, like slightly before Boys to Men, I was already doing like YouTube. So I kind of had a following already on social media. When Boys to Men did very well at the box office and everything, majority of the reaction online was very good. But there are definitely a whole bunch of people that were very mean to us. I remember the first time that I felt really affected was when I went to Mandarin publications, their comment section. Then when I went to read, right, there were like people saying like they just look like a bunch of street hooligans. If not for the topic being an army movie, nobody would want to watch or support or whatever. We never knew that Boys to Men would blow up. So like, why are they dissing us when they don't even know us? After a while, I come to realize like some people, they don't really think much about it, I think. Sometimes they just leave comments and they move on. They leave comments and they move on.
Do you still read comment pages on other websites besides your own social media?
I actually do. I live on the social media world. It's very hard for you to just scroll past because you'll be curious also what people are saying and everything. I always tell myself like if the article is related to me or if my video is being posted on a mainstream media website, right, I have to expect not everybody will like me.
Were there any comments from people who say like, oh, he's only famous because of Boys to Men? Oh, he can only do Boys to Men. Were there any comments like that?
This is seldom said, but I think people definitely think it. Maybe they'll say like, it's a one-hit wonder. Okay, this might sound a bit arrogant, but it is not a one-hit wonder, it's a four-hit wonder. And Boys to Men is a commercial success, but artistically, right, my favorite film is actually My Love Cinema. Like Sergeant Ong is the role that people know me best for, but as an actor, right, the role that challenged me the most is when I did My Love Cinema. Yeah, and just nice I'm wearing the cap now, and I felt really good when I got nominated for Best Actor at a film festival in Canada because of that. And there are films where it fulfills you commercially, you get endorsements, you get shows and everything, but there are also projects and dramas where I do it because I want to improve as an actor, I want to try something different. I think one moment during the My Love Cinema gala premiere, a lot of fellow actors and actresses, right, they came up to me and they said like, wow, Tosh, we are very surprised that you were able to like do this role so well. Like you proved yourself as an actor.
What do you think was the most ridiculous or worst comment that you've ever read?
One comment that really left an impression in me is this girl, she left it on my Facebook. She said like, enjoy your fame while it lasts. You and your boys, right, y'all won't be here by next year or something like that. When I read that, I was really like, wow, she really like put some thought into this comment.
Did it push you to prove her wrong?
Yes, that actually motivated me. Honestly, I did have that fear. I was thinking like, oh my god, like after this film, right, what if nobody engages us anymore? So during that time, I told myself, okay, I need to expand myself in music. I need to continue making content online. So in fact, that comment left such an impression because it motivated me to like, no, I cannot be relevant by next year. I need to really do this. I don't want to go back to my old job and everything.
With regard to negative comments, what advice do you have? Is it better to reply them, but then like you say, it's like giving them the attention, or is it better to just ignore and move on?
My advice would be you have to pick your battles. I think majority of the time you should just ignore it because you can spend your time doing more productive things. But those times where you reply, right, you have to be very sure that you are going to win this battle. Recently on my Instagram, I posted a photo of meet and greet that happened in Kuala Lumpur before the COVID thing. And then this guy commented like, wannabe, you are ugly AF.
Oh.
That day, I was in a very humorous mood. So I clicked his profile, then I went to comment, my pet Shih Tzu has more followers than you. Then I put a smiley face. Then after he replied, like, oh, good for you. Then you can go and something your pet dog. Then I saw his display pic, right? Because his head really looked like a thumb. So I told him that you look like a thumb. So my replies to him are, I'm just playing along, but it felt quite good. But as much as possible, I try not to do that because it's not good as well. Yeah. Like
Hurting you with that comment also means that the person also hurt your parents who gave birth to you and who raised you and who thinks that you are the most wonderful person in the whole world. I think this also comes in because I want to tell you, please take good care of your mental health, because very recently we just have this piece of news about a Japanese kind of like a social media celebrity. She's
I saw that.
Yeah, so she killed herself because of this cyberbullying. So I just want to let you and then your friends and your other boys know that please take care of your mental health. Please don't let these people bring you down to such a point where you give up your whole future and whatever wonderful things that may come out from it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My heart is really broken when I read this kind of news because they are really young. I think sometimes people forget that public figures are human because they hold us to a very high standard. But at the end of the day, we are just human beings that are just trying to get by and live our life.
And I think what's also quite dangerous about this issue is that it's invisible. You don't see it. So people may not know that you are suffering or a celebrity is suffering. We see a lot of it in entertainment, right? I mean, the K-pop world, we've covered and we've written about a few of it as well.
But freedom of speech comes with responsibility.
So to wrap up, one last question for you. I don't know what kind of a mood you are in, but what would you say to your haters right now?
I hope they are safe and I hope they are healthy. If they want to keep following me and throwing me hate comments, I welcome that. I don't hold any animosity towards them.
That's very big of you.
I think that's it.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you for your comments and your thoughts.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe.
Okay, thanks.
You too. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This week's episode has been kind of heavy, but there's a lot of topical issues that were discussed and I think I'm quite grateful that Tosh came on to share some of his personal stories. Some of them were really heartbreaking actually and kind of shocking.
Please consider that everyone has feelings.
Yeah.
Do not exert your right to free speech so ruthlessly. So just give everybody a break. Be nice to everybody.
I think the message here that I hope we all can learn is that it doesn't really take a lot to be nice.
Okay, thank you for watching us. Please take care of yourself. Mentally, physically, emotionally.
Yeah, self-love is very important. I preach that all the time. Okay, so if you like our content, remember to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more AsiaOne content and E-Junkies. You can also catch this as a podcast on Spotify. And I think we can kind of leave things here, I guess.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye, Brian. See you
Bye,
again.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.